Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofix one, AJ. Happy Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. We've got some stuff to talk about today, some fantasy football mock drafts we're going to do, and a little bit of everything else in between. Before I go any further, though, do just want to take a moment, shout out to everyone watching here over on X, YouTube, and Rumble. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit that like button, hit that follow button. It does help us out a lot more than you know. But let's go ahead, get into it. Let's start it because this is, I'm not going to lie, this has caused more controversy and I would say more hate in the last couple of hours since this has been announced than I've seen in a while. And, well, that being that Shane Steichen for the Indianapolis Colts has announced that Daniel Jones will be starting over 30-year draft pick for the Indianapolis Colts, Anthony Richardson. And so Daniel Jones going to be getting week 1 reps, going to be getting those reps with the ones. They open up the season at home against Miami and then host Denver as well to start it off. McCormick in the chat. How you doing, Bob? But I'm not going to lie. I was very shocked with the amount of hate that the Colts were getting from this, from the fan base, and how upset the fan base was about this move. Brother, I'm doing good. Doing a hell of a lot better than Colts fans right now. I'll tell you that. Doing a hell of a lot better than them Colts fans right now because they are losing their shit. They are absolutely losing it right now, and I kind of just don't get it. I'm not going to lie. I don't get it. Now, Anthony Richardson, I think we got to take a whole step back before we really dive into this. Let's remember Anthony Richardson and his start here in the NFL. Drafted very high in the NFL draft for the Indianapolis Colts in the first round, when realistically was given more of a second, third round, fourth round grade even by some people, just due to the fact that he didn't play a lot of football. You know, he didn't start a lot. He didn't show a lot of success. He did start and he had a fairly good year, but it was a very run and gun type offense. Let the freak athlete that is Anthony Richardson take over and really go into it. And it worked. It worked while he was at Florida, and it does show signs every once in a while when we see him get snaps in the NFL. And why do I say when we see him get snaps in the NFL? Well, you go with that run and gun and everything too. Yeah, you're going to get injured. You're going to get banged up, especially when you haven't played that much and your body's not used to being that type of a quarterback and taking those type of hits. And so it's rough for what Anthony Richardson is going through. A very green guy when it comes to the quarterback position in general, thrown into a one of 32 jobs with the franchise on his back and everyone touting that he's the man, he's the next one, he's going to be the best, yada, yada, yada. And it's been a rough couple of years. It has been a rough couple of years for Anthony Richardson. I mean, the 2023 season obviously cut short due to injury. We only got to see him 4 times. 50 completions off of 84 attempts that season. That's 59.5%, 577 yards. He had 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. That is passing stuff. But comes back in 2024, has a better season, actually plays 11 games in this one, 126 completion of 264.4, so 47.7. I mean, not the best, but hey, getting the throws up at least. Threw that all for 1,814 yards, averaging 6.8, 8 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and that's a numbers you don't like to see. And for whatever it is worth, I mean, it feels like we're just so far removed from the last time we saw Anthony Richardson play football that the Colts fans also don't remember what he would put them through on a Sunday. And don't get me wrong, it's Anthony Richardson football is a very exciting brand of football. You know what I mean? It's very Michael Vick-esque, minus the dogs and everything, It's powerful running. It's very athletic moves. It's bombs down the field. It's everything. He has the pieces. He has those intangibles. On top of it, he's a freak athlete. And so, yeah, I understand wanting to put that guy wanting to put the football in that guy's hands every single possession as a quarterback. I totally understand that. But let's get real of where we're actually at. And where we're actually at is Anthony Richardson not being ready to take over that responsibility of being a quarterback. And I go back to last season. And again, it doesn't seem like a huge thing, but it is. He tapped out of a game. He was driving down the field and he tapped out. I'm tired. I need a breather. Someone get the backup in here. Let's go. Like, bro, you can't be doing that. And he comes out in the statement and like, oh, I didn't know, or blah, blah, blah. But bro, that's something you got to know. And you just don't tap out of a play. You don't give up on the drive. You just keep going. Yeah, you're tired. I bet your ass is tired. Fucking sit in the pocket and throw the football. Don't run every play. And unfortunately, Anthony Richardson was brought into a desperate Colts team. And when a team's desperate for a starter, when a team's desperate for someone to come in and take over, and they go in essentially blind and saying, yep, this is our guy. Like, we do not have a backup plan. This is our guy. They either crash and burn. Anthony Richardson burned. We'll see what happens with J.J. McCarthy. And I'm not sitting here, please, I'm not sitting here and saying, like, Anthony Richardson has no chance of making it in the NFL. No. I'm on the opposite side of this. I think Anthony Richardson, like I've said, has all of the intangible tools to be that guy in the NFL. But he hasn't had time to develop. He hasn't had time to develop as a quarterback. He hasn't had time to really learn what the position is and how to understand it at the NFL level. It all happening so fast. He had to absorb so much information after not really, being that guy for so long. And then he's the guy for a season, and then he has to take over an NFL team. That's a tough situation. And we see this happen all of the time with young quarterbacks. The difference here with Anthony Richardson is I don't believe this is the Colts giving up on Anthony Richardson. I don't. I think it's far from them giving up on him. Now, does it make contract stuff and, options and everything a little bit more complicated down the line when, maybe you're picking up an option instead of signing him for 4 years, 5 years on a big contract? Yeah, that does change up stuff from the quarterback perspective. And maybe, going into those talks, it becomes difficult. They ask for a trade or something. Who knows? Because there's a market for Anthony Richardson regardless. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But people would be interested, I guess, is the point there. And they would take a flyer on him. And they would try to develop him because they can fix him. They can develop this quarterback because they know best. When in reality, you don't let the guy absorb the game. You don't let him learn the game. You don't let him just get it. He's so green at the position. He is so green in football that I feel bad dicking on the kid, but we got to do it. But again, I think Daniel Jones being named the starter for the Colts is the best thing to happen for the Colts and for Anthony Richardson and for Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones signed a huge contract with the New York Giants just a couple of years ago. Let's not forget that. They chose him over Saquon. Okay? And yes, we do see, those glimpses of Daniel Jones and those memeable moments where he looks like a complete buffoon and looks like he has no idea what he's doing on a football field. But this is a guy that has not only kept a job in the NFL, but has kept a job, got a big contract, and then it didn't work out there. Listen, is anything going to work out for the New York Giants? Is Russell Wilson going to work out there? Is Jackson Dart going to work out there? Man, that team just seems like a mess in general. But we're talking about the Colts. Why is this a good move for Anthony Richardson? Well, it gives him an opportunity to do something that he really hasn't had the opportunity to do. And that is sit behind another guy and not have that pressure. And, did he, have Joe Flacco last year and everything? Yeah, but again, he was the starter coming into the season. And same thing with year one. And year one, he's also distracted with rehab and everything after those 4 games. And so maybe he's not absorbing as much as he could or learning as much as he could because of the rehab and trying to make sure he's back to 100% for year 2. And then he gets rocking, he gets rolling, he gets 11 games under his belt. Injury strikes again, and we're back to square one. But getting to sit behind Daniel Jones, who, like it or not, is a veteran in this league. like it or not, he's a veteran in this league. He's been around the block. He knows what it takes to win football games at the end of the day. And who knows, maybe this Colts system works a hell of a lot better for him than that Giants system ever did. And maybe it's all said and done, and then we never talk about Anthony Richardson again until he's on another squad. But my point being, it's good for Anthony Richardson to be able to sit behind, yes, a veteran. And it's good for the Colts because it gives them an opportunity to win. Shane Steichen said towards the beginning of training camp, the quarterback that's going to win this job is the one how the hell did he say? Is going to be the one who can show me I can trust them with the system or something like that, like the operations and everything. And his comments, throughout preseason were, yeah, Daniel's kind of that guy, and making that official today. And why is this good for Daniel Jones? Because he's on a shit deal. It's not minimum, but it might as well be minimum. Heavy incentives and everything. I mean, yeah, I would tie that up with Daniel Jones as well. And so he's given an opportunity that he can play winning football again. Or if not play winning football again, at least put up better numbers. And show something and show that at least he's not the problem and it was other issues. I would love to look at the Colts and say, Daniel Jones is doing what he can. They need receivers who can run better routes. They need a running back who can run through and yada, yada, yada. I would love to be able to say that. I've never been able to say that about Daniel Jones before, so that would be new for me too. But it is one of those opportunities for him, and it's a very solid Colts team. It's a very solid team with this Colts team, and they've kind of just been in a tailspin ever since Andrew Luck retired. They haven't been able to get the quarterback position right. The defense always looks solid on paper. The offense, they have weapons there. Michael Pittman Jr. is a dog. Expecting big things out of Josh Downs this year. Not to mention Jonathan Taylor is a hell of a running back. And if there's one thing that I know, it is that Daniel Jones plays really good with a competent, strong running back in the backfield. And now, is Jonathan Taylor, is JT anything like Saquon Barkley? I don't know. I haven't seen JT squat. On the field, no, they're nothing alike. But still, it's going to be a better running back room than what he had with the Giants since Saquon left. And I think overall a better system for him. And in a city that is upset with him now, but come week 1 is going to be ready to actually get behind him and isn't going to be dreading that first snap like Giants fans had since Saquon left. And even before that. And now, do I think Daniel Jones is going to go light it up and be an MVP candidate this year? Probably not. I'd bet money that he's probably not going to go ahead and do that. And I think that is unreasonable to expect that out of him because Anthony Richardson, I feel like the Colts just keep treating him like a rookie. You know what I mean? And this time, they've tried the, you're the shining star rookie that is, was a high draft pick, so we trust you to go in. They've tried that approach. So now they're going to try the rookie sits behind veteran, takes over later in the season. And that's the other thing for Colts fans. I don't think Daniel Jones gets a full season here. Unless he's absolutely lighting up. If he can stay healthy and is lighting it up for the Colts, then maybe he finishes the season. But I see this very, typical, you got a veteran and you're trying to get their replacement ready of waiting a couple of weeks or waiting half a season or more than half a season or an injury to take place or something, and then having that guy step in. And looking at the Colts schedule, I mean, again, as we said, they open against Miami and hosting Miami and Denver, at Tennessee, at Los Angeles, home against the Raiders, home against the Cardinals, at Los Angeles, at the Chargers that time. So, wow, they got to travel to LA both times to face those LA teams. That sucks. Home against Tennessee, at Pittsburgh, home against Atlanta, at Chiefs, Houston. I mean, there's a stretch where they play like at Jacksonville, at Seattle, home against San Fran, home against Jacksonville, at Houston for the last week. That would be, and that's all after the bye. I think if you can get past the first Texans game in week 13, buys in week 11, they open up after the bye week, they go at Kansas City and then host against Houston. So if you can hold off on that, get Daniel Jones through the first Texans game, yeah, let Anthony Richardson run wild and see what he's learned, see what he can do, and see if you really want to go through this anymore. But if Daniel Jones is giving you good football and Daniel Jones is, providing you the best opportunity continually to win, then yeah, go for it. Go for it. And no, I don't, and I've seen in this comment a lot. No, I do not think that this is a tank for Arch situation, considering the fact that everyone pretty much believes that Arch Manning is going to be in college next football season. Yeah, I don't think this is a plan to tank for Manning. I don't think this is any of those things. I think this is truly what is best for the organization, what is best for Anthony Richardson's development, and that was the decision it was made based off of. And again, I have all the hope for Anthony Richardson in the world to actually be a dog. And it would be fun for him to be a dog. I would love to see him as a polished quarterback, still running around and making those plays, but also knowing when to sit in the pocket, throw the football, hit the check down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And potential can only take you so far. You got to start showing results. And Anthony Richardson hasn't shown any results yet, but what you going to do about that, brother? We'll see. We'll see what he can do. But good luck to the Colts this season. I don't think anyone's expecting a lot out of them. So if they can just get a couple games, like a game or two under 500, I mean, that'd probably be looked at as a success. And that's even with Anthony Richardson, or that's with either of them as the starting QB. So tough situation. But Colts fans, seriously, this is the best option you've had. This is the best option you have right now with the information presented and everything. 100% the best option you have right now. Great move for the Colts. Great move for Anthony Richardson. Great move for Daniel Jones. So shout out to the Colts. And I got to do it. I got to talk about it. If we're going to talk about that, I got to talk about this. And that would be what feels to be a changing of the tides in the Micah Parsons Cowboys saga. And McCormick, I agree with you. I'm sorry. Before we get into that, McCormick, I agree. I mean, I don't think I would have been interested to see what the Colts fans' reaction would have been if they put Anthony Richardson in there. I think NFL fans in general have a very bad taste in their mouth from Daniel Jones. But this Colts the offensive line, we didn't talk about that as either. The offensive line for this Colts team also seems to be a little bit more competent than, the Giants. But that'll change this season. Jackson Dart, Russell Wilson. That's the answer. Anyway, the Micah Parsons saga does seem to have a change in the tide. Adam Schefter reporting what a lot of us have been saying, but not really wanting to acknowledge because, Jerry Jones at the end of the day is a very predictable creature. You kind of know his patterns. You kind of know how he likes to operate. We've watched him enough. There's enough tape on him. Like, we know how Jer likes to operate. And, if you've been following the Cowboys, you've been following the NFL, it seems very business as usual for the Cowboys going into the last couple of weeks of training camp. One of your biggest stars on the roster isn't signed yet and is pissed off. You're going to wait until the last second and sign him. But now, you got Shefty and some other people coming out and saying, this feels a little different. Like, when they say they've not started negotiating, they might not have actually started negotiating. And this could get interesting very fast. Do I think at the end of the day this will get very interesting fast? No. I do think that at the end of the day, Micah Parsons will be a Cowboy and will be playing with a star on the side of his helmet this season. Now, whether that's because the contract's not up or because there's another contract, that's a whole other conversation. Micah Parsons has at the end of the day made enough money probably that he can sit out a season and hit free agency next year and just bank on that and see what the market does. But Trey Hendrickson isn't signed yet either, and that one should be closer, but there's, the Bengals are cheap as shit. But Jerry Jones has shown over years that he'll pay. He's just going to make you wait for the pay. Because as he is self-proclaimed, Dallas Cowboys are a 365-day soap opera. And he's got to stay in the headlines. And what's been in the headlines since training camp, since the offseason, since the draft got over? When is Jerry going to sign Micah Parsons? When are these free agents going to get signed? And then TJ gets done. And then it's when is Micah going to get done? And then this whole Trey Hendricks thing's going on. And well, Micah's going to get done, right? And here we are. Seems like the two are very far apart. And, Jerry's stubborn enough. He is probably listening to offers since Micah, asked for a trade. He's probably entertaining. I'm like, oh, that would be nice. Wouldn't that be nice if I could do that? Trade Micah Parsons for a bag of balls. Wouldn't that be nice for you? Yeah, I'll think about it. Yeah. I bet you're thinking about it, Jerry. And it's just, I don't know, Jerry. You got to change your business model. It ain't working out. And just like we talked about yesterday with the Bengals, it's not a good look that a guy that was drafted by the program that has given a lot to this team, is, I hate to say it, but not getting his due, and they got the numbers to back it up. They are an unstoppable force, and, they know the value with probably the trade calls they're getting. And so they know anybody would be happy to have him. And that's why Jerry's going to pay him as much money as humanly possible, as much money as the cap and everything will let him to keep Micah Parsons on this roster. I understand it seems bad, but when crunch time rolls around, when that ball's about to get snapped on that Thursday, just wait. It's going to be hours. It's going to be hours before kickoff. And it's going to be breaking news. Micah Parsons has become the highest non-paid NFL non-quarterback in the world. Oh my God. I just want more news coverage. Oh yeah. But McCormick, again, this is something we've known for years now. How many TV spots? How many, interviews? How many radio spots does he do on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis? And we just know it's all for Jerry Jones because Jerry Jones is there. And, that's, kind of interesting timing with this documentary coming out on the Cowboys and everything. Very interested to see how that portrays Jerry Jones. And again, it's one of those things that's a little upsetting because here you do have, and where credit is due, one of the godfathers, essentially, of the modern day NFL. When it comes to the cheerleaders, when it comes to the TV deals, when it comes to the in-stadium entertainment, when it comes to all of that, the big stadiums, it's Jerry Jones was a big pioneer in all that and a big hand in doing all of that. And, it really sucks that, and it's not going to reflect fully, but, since the 90s, what have the Cowboys done? What has America's team done? Not a goddamn thing. And so it sucks that, we will look back on Jerry's legacy one day. And when the documentary comes out and it'll be, Jerry early on, young, motivated, had all these ideas, was doing everything. And then towards the back end, just didn't know how to GM a football team and didn't know when to give up the reins. I mean, bro, it's terrible. It's terrible. It really is. He's worked that hard for here. At the end of the day, his legacy to be, well, yeah, that's great for everything he did, but he didn't do shit with the team in the 2000s. It's crazy. It's crazy, but that's Jerry Jones for you, baby. That is Jerry Jones in a nutshell. Only other big, not really big news, but it is news. Neighbors, Thomas, and Scadaboo all back practicing. Neighbors had been out for a while with a back issue that, claimed to be just, practicing tightness, training camp tightness. And so it seems to be that he seems to be good. Hopefully everyone's good to go for week 1. We're coming up, baby. We're coming up. Week 0 tomorrow. Again, Noah and I will be live tomorrow night, doing our FedEx Cup breakdown, Tour Championship finals tomorrow, and our picks for that, and all week 0 picks. You're not going to want to miss that. Hit that like button, hit that follow button, so you don't miss it. But sweet. Yeah, let's go ahead. I wanna go ahead and do a mock draft. Got my family fantasy football draft. We're 2 weeks out, and I'm out of town all next week, and so I gotta get practice in while I can, and just be sharp. I gotta be sharp. And we finally have had I can do a practice draft. Oh, sweet. Perfect. This will be great. So I got to, so apparently you can do a practice draft with the teams. Huh. That's cool. So I'll be going with week 8, pick 8. All right. I like it. Here we go. So we're dealing with bots, so we'll probably go very chalky. Oh, kind of chalky. Not that chalky shit. This AI may know ball. I'm on the clock. We got Puka Nakua, Malik Neighbors, Amon Ra, Ashton Genty, Devon Achan. I'm going to go with Puka. Go ahead and go wide receiver early here, just because the running backs that I like to target early are gone already. Oh, this is going fast. Shit. All right. If I feel good about this team, we'll go ahead and get into a real draft. I don't want Drake London. I will go ahead and take a crack at Derrick Henry here. I like that. I don't hate Jonathan Taylor either in that spot. Jonathan Taylor's going to be getting a lot of looks, like we talked about, with Daniel Jones, with Anthony Richardson. They're going to be looking to go to that run game a lot. Oh, give me JSN. Give me JSN. Gladly take some JSN for me. Kyron Williams, James Cook. I'm good. Nah, yeah, I'm good. JSN. What do we got next? All right, we're in round 4. Kamara, Hubbard, Connor. Thank you very much. I also would have taken Trayvon Henderson in that spot, maybe if Connor's not available. I do think the Patriots are going to be a very run-heavy team. They're going to be an old-school, hard-nosed football team, knowing Vrabel and how he likes to operate. He'll let May air it out when he needs to, but what are we looking at here? I picked 5. I got my running backs. I got my wide receivers. Where are my tight ends at? Who's available? Hawkinson, Kelsey, Njoku, Warren. I'll get Kraft later. Let's see what running backs available. I'll get Montgomery. I don't hate that. He'll sit in the flex for now, but probably not for life. Jameson Williams. Go T-Mac. I'm going to go T-Mac. I'm not taking Rome. There's going to be very few situations you're going to find me in where I'm taking a Bears offensive player. That's just not going to work out for me. I'm not going to lie. That's going to be a rough offense. And I hope Daniel Jones has it all figured out and everything, but I don't know, man. Shit, Chris Godwin's available. No, I'd probably go quarterback here soon. But not with everything left. I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off of Tucker Kraft. And I think Tyler Warren will have a good year. I think Colston Loveland is going to be one of the get a lot of targets on the Chicago offense. Dallas Goedert, of course, Jake Ferguson's always solid. Dalton Kincaid's solid. Hunter Henry should have a big year. Like tight ends are kind of a plenty this year, which is great. Get it that shit. Oh, I kind of want Debo. I do want Debo. I'm not gonna lie. Debo's gonna be solid. He looked good in that preseason game with the Bengals. That was solid. All right, on the clock, it's telling me to go Q. Oh, I'm telling me to go QB. I'm not gonna go QB though. I'll take some Tank. I like Tank. I think Tank's going to get a lot of looks. He's going to be key in that Jaguars offense. And I think Trevor Lawrence is going to really have to lean on him this season. And I think when those rookie, these quarterbacks that haven't been solid start, really relying on if we can get love there. Fuck. Ooh, let me get some Charbonnet. Charbonnet is going to have a hell of a year. He feels like a running back one, and if he's not, I think he'll go ahead and win that job at some point. I'll rip Stafford. All right, defense. Oh, wow, I filled my bench up quick. We'll see who's available. I'll probably go Eagles if it's available. Shit. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't hate a Patriots defense ever. I just think it's going to be rough for. I think it's going to take a couple of years for Vrabel to get that defense where he wants it. All right. It's not a bad draft. Not my best draft. Not a bad draft. I don't hate the Stafford pick. I feel like I reached for Henry a little bit, but the way it was kind of rolling, it felt, I don't know, it didn't feel good. When is that draft exactly? Not yet scheduled. Good job, guys. Alrighty, well, I'm going to go ahead and rip a real draft real quick, because why not? Let's have some fun. It's week 0 of college football, baby. Alrighty, we are 3 minutes out. And then we will get started. I'm going to run and grab water real quick. And then we'll get this fantasy draft started. I'm the Bro51 AJ. See you guys in a moment. All right, what's up? We are back. Had some technical difficulties with ESPN. We are back. We are 45 seconds away from entering this draft, and we will get it going, baby. We'll see where we end up and how we roll. I'm feeling good. Ready for a good draft. Alrighty. Oh. There we go. Let's get cooking. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, pick 2. So we're going Jamar Chase or Saquon Barkley. Probably. I'll probably end up with Saquon. I'm good with that. Could go Jahmyr Gibbs. But it looks like Saquon, which I'm good with, man. I really think. I mean, I know he's got the Madden cover and everything, but it's not something I'm worried about. Not with that offensive line, not with the tush push and everything. Like that is the one thing I worry about is the tush push. Just stealing touchdowns. Maybe I should go Jahmyr Gibbs. Have I just talked myself into Jahmyr Gibbs? But that O-line, that team, and a lot of questions with the Lions at the end of the day. 2 new OCs. I mean, internal hires, but still. All right, maybe not going Bijan. I've decided that I'm not going Bijan. Jahmyr, though. I don't hate Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, I think the Eagles, I know they're just coming off a Super Bowl, but I do think the Eagles have an easier schedule this season. I'm going to go Saquon. I don't know why I'm second guessing myself. I'm going to roll with Saquon, and I'm going to be happy with it. Unless pick 1 goes ahead and does something crazy. But if that happens, then I'll just go Jamar. Yep, Jamar Chase. And that's been one thing that's been kind of nice about these drafts is if you're in the top 3, 4, 5 picks, you have an opportunity for Saquon, even Jamar, Justin Jefferson to fall for you. These top 5 picks have been very, very different. And there hasn't been a clear 1, 2, 3, 4. Bijan. I mean, respect. He's got cool edits. But I don't know, man. I don't know. That Falcons team starting to feel a little too good to be true. Penix looked good in those games he played, but he didn't play many. It was 4 games. And yeah, looked good, but looked good for a rookie. Now there's tape on him they've been able to study for a whole offseason. I don't know, man. I hope it works out. And they didn't just shift away from Cousins too early. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah, JJ going off at pick 9. That's because no one trusts JJ McCarthy. And I don't blame him. Because it's not even not trusting JJ McCarthy. If JJ McCarthy goes down for whatever reason, or he sucks, like there's not really a backup option. There's not a veteran you can lean on. There's not some guy there that can take the reins. But that's their decision. They could have had an expensive backup in Kirk Cousins, but they decided not to. Ooh, they're going to take their time today. There we go. Genty off the board. I might be in a spot to draft Henry. No. Ooh, Brock Bowers. Oh, please have Brock Bowers fall into my lap. If he's not there, I'll take Trey McBride. No shame there. But I think Bowers will be there, and then maybe I can get Bucky too. Would not hate some Bucky Irving. And I don't know why, but it feels like this Tampa Bay team has just been overlooked yet again. And I don't get it. I mean, Baker Mayfield looks good. Yes, a new OC, but Baker is still Baker. Like, he has looked good years now. And he seems to really fit into that Tampa Bay team. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Mike Egbuka, who should be a great addition there. Bucky Irving is always a dog. That defense has always worried me, but it's serviceable enough to let Baker cook. And it's great. Quick question. 10-man redraft PPR. Okay. Second overall pick. There you go. And the pick wants the second pick to take Bijan. Want Gibbs it too. Ooh. You're in a tough spot, bud. I mean, you trade into the second round. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to get Bowers here. So, I mean, we're in the second round right now. If your option is to go ahead and trade back there, I mean, I get it. You do have a lot of really good running back options this season. And, one of the more I hate to say it, injury prone positions, something that you can. I should trade down and get it. Should I trade down? Third place is taking Saquon. So you're SOL there. Oh, fourth pick wants the second pick. Oh, my goodness. I thought you were saying go ahead and draft trading out of the second round with the second pick. Like, bruh, I hope you are getting like a couple 6-pack along with that too. Oh, my goodness. But, second to fourth, you want Jahmyr Gibbs? First, I mean, if you have any inkling on what that first pick is what you're worried about, then, oh, shit, my bad. A.J. Brown, Tyreek, Allen, Kyron. See, that's the issue. Guys won't be available. I want Kyron Williams. And so I'm going to reach a little bit here for Kyron. But he's available still. And Drake London and A.J. Brown. Like, A.J. Brown's going to have a good season. We know he's going to have a good season. But I don't want to put my trust into that. Okay. Yeah, bro. Big Mo. I think if you want to trade back there and you're comfortable that you can still get Gibbs there at 4, third is going to take Saquon. Then first is going to be, that first overall pick is really all you're concerned about at that point. And unless they go crazy and go Jahmyr Gibbs or really throw a wrench in your plans and go Saquon, because then that third place team is going to be looking for a running back. So are they just trading, or like, are you just trading picks, or do you get anything in return? Because if it's just a straight second for fourth pick, like, I want it in writing that I'm getting Jahmyr Gibbs for the fourth pick if I'm not getting anything else. But I also don't trust my friends. which was, that's our friendship, but it's okay. Love the boys. Anyway. But yeah, bro, I think you're chilling. If you feel it's good, it's good. And if you're looking for Jahmyr Gibbs, I think fourth overall for Jahmyr is not, like, you're not reaching. That's a good pick. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Still got Gibbs. I got a better second pick. Yeah, you're picking in the middle there. I've found success in the middle of the draft pack. My second from 19 to 17. Okay. Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying now, Big Mo. It just took, my brain was not working there, obviously, so it took me a moment. Thank you for spelling it out. But I think you're gonna get BTJ or Puka there in the second round and get a worse third. Worse is relative. You know what I mean? You decide that you're gonna go tight end in that round, or you decide that you're gonna finish out your running back room. I think you're gonna be fine. It just depends on what you want to do, how you want to build that team. But no, I like that. I like those. I like overall. If you're asking me if I would do that deal, yes, I would. I still get Gibbs, and I maybe just ask my buddy to buy me a beer next time, because you're more doing him a solid. And I mean, overall, I guess, why would you? Because really, the only person that seems to benefit is the fourth pick, and he just gets to draft Saquon second overall. But if you don't want Saquon, if first overall doesn't want Saquon and third overall doesn't want Saquon, what is he worried about? That's what's confusing me more than anything, I think. Overall, though, if you want to just be a nice guy, yeah, go ahead. Do it for the man. That's kind of where I'm at. You're gonna have to keep me posted, Big Mo. Just pop by on a random video and leave a comment and let me know what happened, because I'm kind of invested now. All right, where am I gonna go next? That's my question. I mean, I don't think JSN will fall to me. If he does fall to me, that would be awesome. Take DK, fine. Take Terry, fine. Dude, I hope I helped. I don't know if I did help, but glad I helped. Oh, man. I think we'll go JSN here if he falls. Got tight ends off the board, lads off. I will say, like, I get it. Tyreek Hill's awesome. But, man, do you believe that he actually has learned this playbook? I know he said that in an interview, but Tyreek Hill has said a lot of things in interviews. And so I don't know if Kenneth Walker, all right, come on. There we go. Take Garrett Wilson. Believe in Justin Fields. Good call there. I'll take JSN. Thank you. And yes, I know I'm trusting Sam Darnold. Okay, I know. But JSN's one of those guys that makes the quarterback look better. As long as Sam Darnold doesn't see any ghost. I'm kind of regretting that pick now. What have I done? What have I done? It's okay. Let's regroup and let's keep it moving. We're going to maybe fill another wide receiver spot. Not going to miss on this one. We're going to go with Mike Evans on this one. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go Mike Evans here. I like that. Drafts August 27th. Oh, let's go. Let's count down the days. Count down the days. Are you going to make your buddy wait until like day of draft if he's going to get that second overall? Because I personally would do that just to torture him a little bit. And then just confirm with him. Wait a minute, did you want my second round pick or my first? Alrighty. Where am I going to go next? Fill out that flexi, whatever comes available first. A good running back, good wide receiver. There's going to be a minute, obviously. And after that flex, I mean, we'll see where quarterbacks are at. If there's a quarterback that I think will go off the board sooner rather than later, I'll probably. Way to go, Big Mo. Way to go. I like it. I like it a lot. That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, we'll be in the 6th round. I really don't like drafting a quarterback to like the 8th or the 9th. But I know a couple have gone off the board already. So I think I'll just check in with the quarterback room when that second pick comes around for me and just kind of check where it's at. I'm a fan. That is what I'm feeling. Xavier Worthy, Marvin Harrison Jr., Brees Hall, Trayvon. I'm feeling good on Trayvon Henderson. If we're gonna be real, I'm feeling really good on Trayvon Henderson. I think he's gonna have a big year this year. And just the way that New England's going to be, I think New England is going to look to run the ball a lot. That Vrabel mentality is going to start seeping in very quickly. And I think the Patriots aren't going to, they're not going to be competing for a Super Bowl this year or anything like that. They're going to be better. And I think that's a big step forward from where the Patriots have been at the last couple of years. They will be better this year than they have been in years past. Will they be 100%? No, probably not. Will they be as dominant? No, probably not, but they'll be better. That's for sure. We'll see where this goes, though. All right, coming on up. Zay Flowers is up there. I don't hate that. Cortland Sutton, not the worst pick that I could have, but not the best. Calvin Ridley, depending on how you're feeling about Cam. Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle. Could go Jameson Williams. I wouldn't hate Jameson. Wow. Notable NFL futures bet made yesterday at Bet Rivers in Illinois. $300K on Chicago Bears over 8.5 wins. My goodness. There is being a homer, and then there's being delusional. That guy is delusional. 8.5 games. Whew. $300K. It's a lot of money. Whew, that's a lot of money. Alrighty, where are we looking? We go with Jameson Williams. I like that there. And then why do I kind of want to go Baker Mayfield? I'm going to go Baker. We'll go Baker. It feels a little early. I'm not going to lie. I like Baker's upside this year. I like how he's been working. And I think he's going to do well. Simple as that. Got all the weapons around him. I think he's going to have a new best friend in Emeka Egbuka. And the boys will be a cooking. All right, a lot of picks left. Gonna start getting that bench together. Start with another running back, more than likely. I mean, with Saquon and Kyron, it's really just going to be, just gravy on top of the turkey at this point. Ooh, if I can get Ramondre Stevenson if he's available, I like that too. Snipe Cam Scatterby later. I think Cam Scatterby is going to have I think he's going to have a year similar to how he had at ASU. I think he's going to be a strong running back. I think they're going to lean on him a lot. And he's going to help Russell out a lot, and he's going to help Dart out a lot. David Njoku. Rasheed Rice. Travis Kelce. People think the Chiefs are going to have a down season, and yet, I don't know. Personally. Yeah, Pittman's good later rounds. I'm big on Josh Downs the late rounds this season. Neighbors target share, yeah, and it will be insane this year. It's going to be crazy. I also, unpopular opinion, I do not hate burning a late round draft pick as with Daniel Jones as a backup. True. Pittman did play with a fracture. Pittman's got such a good upside too. All those guys, like that Colts team is such a good upside. Again, as I started off the video to the stream today, I think the Colts selecting Daniel Jones to be their starter is the best decision that organization has made in a while. I really do. And I hope it leads to good things and Daniel Jones doesn't revert to old Daniel Jones. We'll have to wait and see. Have to wait and see on that. What wide receiver options are available? Maybe I can go another tight end. Oh, I love maybe I might burn a pick in the next round on Jordan Addison. I mean, you're getting him, in my opinion, for such great value because he is falling to 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th round in some cases. And people don't want to touch him because of the suspension. They don't want to waste a roster spot, but it's a 3-week suspension. And yes, I know fantasy football is not that long, but guys. I could be a dick and just take Tucker Kraft. But no, we're going to go with Jacoby Meyer. There we go. Oh, dude, I know. They've been in a tailspin since Luck. And I mean, R.I.P. Jim Irsay. The Chris Ballard still doing what he was doing after like their third quarterback was rough to watch. The fact that he still has a job. It's crazy. But what you gonna do, brother? Jalen Warren. Aaron Rodgers is gonna want that ball ran a lot. A lot. Go tight end in the next round, and then maybe see if I can get Addison late there. Mika Egbuka, I like him in the ninth. Chris Godwin, Rome, yeah. People really filling out that bench now. Michael Pittman. Brock Purdy in the ninth round that's hard. Big Mo. JT will be better this year, though. That O-line seems a little bit more competent. Daniel Jones is really good at handing the ball off. I mean, really good at handing the ball off. You know, he was so good at handing the ball off that he got a huge contract because he handed the ball off so well. And so I think Daniel Jones will be able to just put it right there. You know, just boom, snap, boom, right there. Daniel Jones. That's his move right there. That just right there. I'm high on JT. High on JT. And if they can get that run game going and Daniel Jones can get time in the pocket because he's not getting the shit blitzed out of him, yeah, he's gonna maybe put up some numbers. Maybe, God forbid, some wins. Whew. It's wild. And that's why I'm not hating Tyler Warren here at 99. Or should I go Addison and then Warren? Ooh, okay, no. If Matthew Golden is still there at 99, yeah, no, I'm all over that. Tyler Warren's gone. That sucks. Go Jordan Addison and go investigate tight ends again real quick. Debo. Yeah, dude. The Colts. Listen, the Colts on paper, if you take out the quarterback position, look like a very competent, football winning team. Oh, I'm on the clock. Shit. Yeah, I'll go Addison. They look really good. Oh, Tucker Kraft. Yeah, we'll just roll with him. Mo, you do not need to tell me. I mean, again, you take out the quarterback position, it looks like a very competent team, a very good team. They just have not been able to get the guy under center correct at all. And, like I said, I hope Anthony Richardson really takes this opportunity to sit behind a veteran. And yes, he is a veteran in Daniel Jones. And at least just absorb the game, absorb the game from the sideline a little bit more. And, maybe hopefully sit out at least through week 10. And then maybe we can hopefully see a little bit of a jump. But I feel like I need to see I feel like we all need to see a real step forward with Anthony Richardson instead of what we have been seeing out of him, which is just a lot of the same every time and not really taking any steps in his development. He's still an athletic freak. He is still a raw specimen talent, but it's not to the point where like you can just throw him out there and trust him. And it hasn't been there for a long time. Well, it hasn't been there since he's been there. And they wanted so badly to just put him out there and let him cook and let him develop, but then injuries and then tapping out and other injuries. It's been a rocky start for Anthony Richardson, no doubt. I still think of all the potential in the world and still has the ability to be that guy. It's just going to take a bit. It's taking a lot longer than people like to take for a quarterback to show that they can take that next step. Exactly. Big Mo, my point, bro. He doesn't do the small things right. He doesn't look at the checkdowns. He doesn't hit the screen passes. He makes his life hard, and a lot like Caleb Williams, he feels like a quarterback that is, well, let me look to run first. Would he be more comfortable in a strict RPO system? Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it, brother. Let him run around the field and just dump the ball off every once in a while if he can hit those passes. But again, he's still just very green in this whole, position of an NFL quarterback and in the pole position of a quarterback and just starting quarterback in general. And so, again, hope the best. Hope this is a good opportunity for him, but I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried that his development isn't going nearly as fast enough, and he'll end up as a journeyman, which I don't think would be bad for him. I think that, his talent alone and his, what's the word I'm looking for? His potential will keep him in the league for a while. Not going to be on big money, not going to be on starting money or, even a starting opportunity. It's going to be for a quarterback battle. It's going to be for a backup position. It's going to be for some young hotshot head coach who thinks he can fix him. But no, and he did because he didn't need to the year he was a starter in Florida. He didn't need to be aware because, it's slow in college. And so you could just run away from everything. And he figured out quickly, like Caleb's figured out, can't do that. You can't do that. Oh, sweet. We'll get Cam Scatterboop. I might put Drake London on my bench. Drake May, excuse me. I'm happy with, how I'm happy how my bench is looking. I put Drake May on there. I'll draft one more running back before I draft my kicker and defense. And we'll be looking good, I think. We'll be looking good. I'm excited. I'm excited for this team. My 10th fantasy football draft. I'm excited. It'll be a good one. And don't you worry, I think we're going to do this again on Thursday night. So stay tuned for that. We'll get another mock draft under our belt, a couple real drafts under the belt, and get cooking. It is ticking. It's definitely ticking in Indy. I don't know if it's ticking. Whoops. Yep, Drake May. Go running back next. I think it's ticking in Indy. I don't think it's ticking in the NFL. I don't. I think his first stop, if he isn't extended or anything by Indy, is going to be Minnesota or wherever Kevin O'Connell is if JJ McCarthy doesn't work out. But even if not, even if he does go doing that, I don't know. And dude, anytime, good luck with your draft. If you're not on a stream before that, and please drop a comment and let me know what you ended up doing and how it worked out. Would love to hear it, but have a good one, bro. Thanks for stopping by. All right, yeah, we'll go. We got a while, so we'll see how this running back room is going to turn out. I would prefer for Tank Bigsby to fall to me. That would be great. I kind of want to stay away from Rachaad White because I think Bucky's going to be getting the majority of the carries. Wouldn't hate a Zach Charbonnet. I think he'll be getting a lot of the first round. Running back one. Running back one touches towards the middle late season. But even then, should be viewed more as a running back one in that Seattle system, at least. And with Sam Darnold, I mean, they're going to need to run that ball a lot. Hopefully that kid doesn't see ghosts or anything like that, but woof. Well, Zach Charbonnet is off the board. That's a bummer. Oh man, I don't get why it takes people so long in the back half of drafts. I really don't. Like, you got time. Come on. All right, come on. Get Tank Bigsby. Get my kicker. Get my defense. Call it a day. There we go. Tank. And we'll see what defense we get left with. I like this lineup a lot, though. Big fan of this roster. That is solid. I mean, Packers defense, Chiefs defense, Rams defense. I'd be good with any of those. Bills defense, if they're available. I'm good with those three. And then I think we will. I like it, man. It's a solid roster. Ooh, DeAndre Hopkins in round 15. I love that pick. I'm not going to lie. And it looks like we'll have our pick at defenses. Ooh, Zach Ertz late. I don't hate that. Dallas Goedert falling to the late rounds. That's shocking. All right, we'll go Pack. We'll go with the Packers and like it. Whoa. Whoa, some breaking news coming out. Apple drops MLB, NBC, Peacock, ESPN. Oh no, NBC and Peacock in, ESPN looking to buy MLB.TV, and Netflix nabs the home run derby. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Give me a sec. Packers will draft that. Hold the phone. MLB is close to being done. Its new set of media rights deals expected to go through. Hold on. When the league's national broadcast, yada, yada, yada. Apple is completely exiting its current deal for Friday Night Baseball, making way for NBC and Peacock to pick up Friday inventory. In addition to Sunday Night Baseball and the wild card games ESPN has opted out of. And then MLB TV is going to sell to ESPN. Wow. Wow. Okay, so Apple's out of Friday Night Baseball. They're no longer. NBC is going to pick up Friday Night Baseball, Sunday Night Baseball, and wild card games. The MLB.TV, the streaming service for MLB, is going to be sold to ESPN as part of their whole new direct-to-consumer subscription base and everything. That's huge. That's huge, and it kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie. Just initial reactions here, and this will be something we talk a lot more on Friday about when I do that show. But the big news more than anything is ESPN opting into MLB.TV. You know, Apple's out, NBC, who gives a shit about that? MLB.TV being, you know, with the MLB and being kind of their baby for years and years now, as their over the top streaming service. Not only that, but has been one of the more, I will say, reliable streaming services out there. They've knocked it out of the park with MLB.TV. The user interface is nice and easy. I can get a game anywhere I want to. I mean, it's good. I kind of hate to see it go to ESPN. I'm not going to lie. It makes me kind of feel a little bit better, though, buying the ESPN package, their new app and everything, because it feels like something you're going to have to get at some point. And yeah, if I can have MLB TV wrapped up in that, I'm probably going to purchase it and just have it on that instead of paying for that subscription as well, as long as it includes the Arizona Diamondbacks. And ESPN has been talking about solving their, you know, national broadcasting issues, and this could be one of those ways, making it a little bit more affordable, selling it to ESPN so that ESPN has that content and everything. It could make it more affordable for the fans, which would be helping solve their, you know, broadcasting issues, but still isn't a good long-term answer in general. But big for ESPN, because it seemed like they were done with baseball, but they're not done with baseball. They're just done covering baseball, it seems like. So we'll see. I don't think baseball talk is suddenly going to go up on ESPN because they're buying MLB TV or anything like that. I think it's going to be a lot like the NFL package, you know, the NFL network and everything. They retain all those rights and everything like that, and they can do with what they want. And let's go ahead and just take this another step further. Sets up for essentially a daily MLB type red zone situation. Yeah. Yeah, there are many a days where you got so many games going on at the same time. Give me MLB red zone. Give me MLB red zone. I want it. I want it now. That's insane. That's insane. But it will be good. So I'm a fan. Awesome. I love it. Well, that's all I got today. That's cool breaking news there. But hey, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to everybody watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit that like button, hit the follow button. It does help out a lot more than you know. But with all that being said, I, of course, have been the Brofict one, AJ. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Good luck. God bless. See you guys next time on Degenerate Takes.